That isn't just the sound of the all-new 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLC being put through its paces. It's the sound of innovation. The innovation behind one of the most advanced SUVs on the road today. With multiple driving modes, a suite of intelligent drive systems, and a technology-filled cabin that sets new standards in modern luxury. This is what innovation sounds like. Now, discover what it feels like in a 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLC.
Some equipment described as optional.
Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, your number one source for all things sports. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net. Use the hashtag EPNERA and join the revolution now.
Welcome back to Wrestling Heads Radio. It's me. You know, it's me, Oscar. And I'm not alone tonight. I got the man from the NYC. He's already starting rumors that he's coming to Reseda, California. What the fuck? Motherfucker, I got Tom with me. What's going on, Tom?
What's going on? Yeah. Rumors are starting because, of course, as everybody knows, when PWG makes an announcement, everybody knows. 3 shows coming up. We got Bowie coming up February 12th and All-Star Weekend 12, 2 nights coming up in March. So I figure I need to get out of this cold New York winter and make my way to Reseda. Whether it happens or not, that's still to be determined, but like I said to you before we came on the air, I'm definitely trying to get to Reseda in 2016 because, I mean, it's the best wrestling on the planet.
All right, if you do come down, I'm just going to say, most likely everybody in California will make you want to think about moving over here because it's going to feel like home to you if you do show up. But, yeah. That's yesterday. PWG did announce 3 shows coming up. Bowie, in honor of David Bowie, and All-Star Weekend already for 2 shows in March. So, just be prepared. No card has not yet been announced, but, if they soon announce a card, we will talk about it on this show. But that's the latest we got for PWG right now. And let's start the show right now with some WWE talk. Well, we just saw Raw right now, and I'm going to just say right now, I did not enjoy the show at all. It made me kind of move around, do other things, like wash dishes and all that. I was trying to, focus to watch Raw, but I could not really just watch. I was just, doing house stuff around, moving stuff around, and it was hard for me to watch today. What about you, Tom? What you thought about Raw tonight?
I thought it was a pretty weak show. Really, besides the closing segment, there really wasn't anything notable that happened on Raw. I mean, it was, like I said, a pretty weak show. There really wasn't any good matches. I will say also, I am enjoying the Charlotte-Becky Lynch storyline. That was probably one of the only highlights on Raw, and we'll get into it once we get further into detail about Monday Night Raw. But, I thought it was a pretty bad show tonight. And like I said, that's surprising. I mean, not really surprising in the sense that it was a bad Raw because Raw really, we're surprised when it's a good show. But especially when it's the go-home show to the Rumble, which is one of the biggest shows of the year, you would think that, they would try to step it up a little bit and, add a little extra incentive to watch. But really, there was just nothing on the show.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said just right now, I try my best to focus in what was going on, but it was hard. But before we talk more Raw, I think there's somebody wants to join us to talk about Raw from Eyes of the Ring and stuff. I got Nathan. What's going on, Nathan?
What's going on, Oscar? How's it going, Tom?
What's going on, Nathan? How you doing tonight?
Good. What'd you guys think of Raw? Besides, well, I just heard what you guys kind of thought of it, and I'm kind of in the same boat where there was two takeaways from tonight's Raw, and we'll get to it, but it was the ending segment, which I thought was really good, and then the Diva segment, which I thought I would never say.
I don't know. I try to end I had a good Monday. I started in the morning, signed up for season tickets for the LA Rams because we got football here in LA, and end the night with a shitty Raw. And yeah, that's how it is. And yes, I think we're gonna get WrestleMania here in 4 to 5 years, so get ready. And I invite you guys to come down here we'll most likely have a WrestleMania, so I invite you guys to come down if you guys want to. But anyway,
I'll definitely come down. But next year, later this year, I'm planning on going to Chicago. So,
what's going on in Chicago?
War of the Worlds on, I believe,
War of the Worlds, yeah.
May 8th.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay.
But I might hold out for the pay-per-view because I wanted to do Vegas for the 14th anniversary, but there was no way I was able to do it. So I figured Chicago was the next best thing. So. Yeah,
definitely. I totally forgot about that, those shows. But I am going to head down to Ring of Honor in Vegas, so can't wait for that. But we can talk about it some other time. Monday Night Raw started off with Roman Reigns. He mentioned what happened at the end of Raw last week when he got F5 by Brock Lesnar. So he wanted Brock Lesnar to come down, so he called him out. And instead of Brock Lesnar, he got Y2J Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho came down. He just wanted to come down and say that he wants. He had Brock Lesnar on the show, the highlight reel later on. But he had an idea that he wants both of them on his show. And I guess Roman took the offer, but then they got interrupted by the League of Nations, which started off where, I guess they got offended how the top three contenders, when Jericho said the top three contenders were, for the Roman matches, Roman Reigns, Jericho, and Brock Lesnar. And I guess they got offended, like, wait a minute, what the hell? What about us, And they mentioned about their past, like Sheamus won a Rumble in the past, Alberto Del Rio won a Rumble in the past, and they're rubbing their mouth, this and that. No one didn't understand what Rusev's saying. And, then it came down to the end, which ended up being Roman Reigns and Rusev having a match. And this is what happens again. It's like I try to follow it. I did not enjoy the matchup between Rusev and Roman Reigns, but it's like something I've seen before so many times between the two, and I guess Roman Reigns got the victory. So it's hard for me to explain. I try to pay attention to the match, but I can't. So I'm gonna start with Tom. What you thought of that match?
That was okay. When it comes to Raw, really, I say this each and every week, but it's nothing really special. Like I said, it was just kind of there. Nothing really, too major. It wasn't even that good of a match in the ring. And I'm going to say this now, and I'll probably say it several times tonight. Man, this Raw crowd, they were dead from beginning to end. Like,
absolutely terrible.
They had no interest in this show at all. And it was evident, like, at least usually with most Raw crowds, they'll be into like the first couple matches or segments, but not the case tonight. They were dead from start to finish.
I think I saw people yawning in the crowd. That's how dead they were.
Yeah, that's how pretty much it was. I'm trying to figure out what the hell was Raw at again. I didn't even look where the hell Raw was at today.
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, Columbus, what's going on here? Maybe they got too excited that Hugh Jackson's the new Browns coach, I guess. So, and the Bengals are out of it, the Bengals are eliminated. Maybe, I don't know. But that's what happened. Beginning of Raw, pretty much. That was just a terrible way to start Raw for Raw, I have to say. But going into a match we saw over and over again for the last 2 years. I remember those guys were going at it a bunch of times when Rusev had that undefeated streak going on, and they were barely pushing up Roman Reigns. And that's a terrible way to start off, in my opinion. And the next match, or the next thing after the commercial, I want to say it was I think it was the Divas thing, or wait a minute, Jericho got stopped by Stephanie McMahon. They did mention about the whole 1999 thing again, and and then they did a little backstage thing, but Jericho didn't mention the bottle freaking dirty hole part. Stephanie had to stop with that part, so that was kind of weak. All right, the next match, it was Brie Bella going against Natalya, but Natalya had Paige, a returning Paige in her corner, which I am a little confused now once again about the Divas division. All right, I think it was a week ago or two, I seen Team Bella look like they were baby faces, and then now they're doing heel work. Now you got Paige coming back. Last time we saw her, she was a heel. Now she's a face. I'm like, okay, what's going on here with the Divas division? It's like every week they're tossing up, like, okay, let's have Becky Lynch turn heel tonight, and then next week let's turn her face, and then let's have Charlotte turn face today, and then a month we'll turn her heel again. Like, they're just doing hot potato with the fucking Divas division. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And then going to the match, it was basically a short match between Brie and Natalya. It just pretty much ended where Brie was doing those little kicks where Daniel Bryan does. The crowd was going, yes, yes, until Natalya reversed it to a sharpshooter, and she made Brie tap. And that was pretty much the end of that match. And, you had Paige celebrating with Natalya with that victory, and they basically promoting Total Divas, which is the new season premieres tomorrow. And they showed a little clip between Paige and Fox. I guess they had a little thing going on, and they made a big thing about. Paige made a big thing about how Alicia Fox deleted her in every social media act. So I don't know what the fuck. First, let's start with Tom. What you thought about that match?
I mean, it was all right. It did its purpose. Natalya coming back, getting a quick submission victory over Brie Bella, kind of re-entering her into the Divas picture. I could see a Charlotte Natalya match happening, maybe a Fast Lane. I don't see it being a WrestleMania match, but it could be kind of just, that filler in between pay-per-view match. They could build it up for a couple weeks. There's definitely some substance behind that feud as well. Natalya coming from a wrestling family and Charlotte as well. So I think that could be a nice little feud if done properly before WrestleMania. But when it comes to the Bellas, you mentioned that they're just flip-flopping back and forth. They've always done that with the Bellas. It's like 1 week they'll be made to look like heels, and then the next week they're faces, heels and faces. And then Total Divas comes in, so they have to look like faces when Total Divas debuts. but then an episode of Total Divas happens, and they have to look like heels because of what happened on the episode, and it's just like, it's a huge headache, and you're like spinning in circles trying to figure out if people should be rooting for them or if they shouldn't be, like, and it is so freaking weird. And like I said, it's always been like this with the Bellas. We've never, there's only been, I think, a small time frame where we knew if the Bellas were heels or faces. Like, there was a distinct difference in what they were doing. But ever since then, it's just like they've had no direction in their character, and it's just like, oh, it's the Bellas, and they're on Total Divas.
Yeah, definitely. Nate, you got a thought of that?
Well, as far as what Tom was saying about the Bellas, I completely agree. And I don't think that Total Divas does anybody ever any favors. I wish that show would be canceled. Because, honestly, WWE tries their best to treat that show as if it's live, and it's not. So by the time Total Divas debuts, they treat everything that's 4 months old like it just happened, and it's so insulting to the viewer, and I hate it. As far as Natalya versus Brie Bella tonight, I didn't mind the match because, honestly, Natalya got some airtime, and that's fine. But I just don't like watching Brie Bella wrestle because it's like watching a female version of Daniel Bryan, and that's not what I want to see. If she's going to be a wrestler, then she should do her own stuff, as horrible as it would be, but that's the way I would like it, and I was extremely happy with who won. Whether it goes anywhere, we'll see, but that's kind of the downfall of the Divas division. And then Tom's right when he said, like, it's like they don't know what to do with the Bellas. Like, 1 week they're heel, 1 week they're face, and it's like every time Total Divas comes around, they turn them face, and then as soon as Total Divas goes off the air, they turn them heel again. So it's like they need to figure out what they want to do with the Bellas if they want the Bellas to stay around. Because I've been hearing that the Bellas want to leave again, which if they do, that would be fine with me.
Yeah, definitely. It's just weird. And, I mean, it's hard for me to say they'll believe. I believe one day they'll cancel the show, but I don't see that anytime soon, especially, there's some female friends I have that, doesn't follow wrestling and follows Total Divas. I'm like, oh, shit. So it's hard for me to believe that's ever going to cancel, but we'll see. All right. Let's just move on from this. Maybe we could talk about more Divas later. But another terrible match that happened next. You got the Wyatt family, which I love, going against the Dudley Boys and Ryback. And, especially have Ryback's name on there, it's not going to be an exciting match. But let's just move on to it. The Wyatt family did win this match. And basically, we all know where it's going. Bray Wyatt looks strong for the Rumble. So that's basically what it is. Hopefully these two guys have a different opinion about this match, but I'll start off with Tom.
I mean, once again, there's this match just had no substance whatsoever. There was no reason for me to be interested in this matchup. It was just lifeless. It had nothing redeeming about it. And, I like the Wyatts, but it's just, like I said, you can only do so much. And you have to get people interested in matches, and this isn't going to do it. Like I said, how many times, week after week after week, are they going to throw random 6-man tags, whether it's the main event or whether it's thrown in the middle or beginning of the show, and expect people to care? There's a time when you can do 6-man tags and, make it further a storyline or make it further a feud. There's a time and a place to that. But when you do it every week, it's going to lose value, and people are going to become disinterested in the matches and just think of it as just another match. And that's what these matches on Raw are. That's all they are. It's another match, nothing really important. And this is why people are starting not to care anymore and starting to turn off their TV. And like I said, tonight's Raw was another prime example. And like I said at the beginning of the show, this is your go-home show to one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year in the Royal Rumble. You know, I think people that don't even watch wrestling that much, they know WrestleMania and they know the Royal Rumble. They, like I said, this is one of the most significant pay-per-views of the year, and they're treating it like nothing. They're treating it like nothing.
Well, and they did that last year, too, in the road to WrestleMania. So it doesn't really surprise me. And, like, the thing is about the pay-per-views, it's like, I think the reason they do that is because it's on the WWE Network, so now it's $9.99, so they don't really have to sell it. Because if you have a subscription to the network, you're going to watch it. Well, you might not watch it, but you know what I mean? It's like you have access to it. You can watch it. Whereas before, they had to sell pay-per-views because they were $60 a pop. And it's not like that anymore, so it's like they're trying to figure out a way to sell these pay-per-views, and they're going about it the wrong way. Because a lot of the go-home shows that they have been weak. I can't think of a single go-home show for the past year that I thought was any good.
Yes, definitely. All right, let's just move on to the next match. It was end up being the Big Show going against Heath Slater, which he did brought up the Social Outcast. It was a quick match. I don't know, there's nothing to discuss about it, but basically Big Show just did the weapon match to and Heath Slater and quickly pinned him. And then after the end of that match, you had the Social Outcast and try to attack the Big Show, and he knocked out each and every member of them. So that's pretty much what happened. I don't know if you have anything. I don't know if you guys have anything to discuss about that, but that's the only time we saw the Social Outcast. And I don't know if you guys have anything in common, but that's the only thing we've seen about him, and nothing new. But all right, let's just move on. There was a thing between Vince McMahon and Stephanie about who's going to draw number one in the Royal Rumble. Was they brought in the Rumble balls and all that stuff, and then one of them came down as Roman Reigns, and I guess they want to do it again just to be fair. Roman Reigns got picked again, so basically it was all set up to have Roman Reigns come in number one as in the Royal Rumble. So, and basically all the balls has Roman Reigns' name on it, so that's pretty much what's going down. So now we all know Roman Reigns is going to start off at number one in the Royal Rumble. So that's all I can talk about right there. The next match, which actually was a little decent match, I have to say, but you got Becky Lynch going against Tamina. I'm gonna lie, Becky's very talented. I mean, she can work with anybody in the Divas division, even if someone like someone like Eva Marie, she can work on it. And, you know, Tamina, she has a lot of experience, especially she has a Hall of Fame dad like Jimmy Snuka, who's been on the news as of late. But Becky Lynch got the win, and then she challenged Charlotte on SmackDown for the Divas title, but then Charlotte had not given an answer. Then Becky wanted a rematch for Royal Rumble. Charlotte was like, I already beat you already, way in the back of the line. Then she mentioned about, how Ric Flair is and what kind of daughter you have, and your dad, you're not like your dad. Your dad is exactly for a challenge and all this stuff. And then I guess that offended Ric Flair, and then Ric Flair answered for Charlotte's. After Charlotte, he answered, yes, you get a match at the Royal Rumble. And I guess Charlotte didn't like the answer, but or pretty much Rick did on her answer. So I guess we at the Rumble we got a Divas title match, Charlotte against Becky Lynch. So let's start off with Tom. What do you thought of that match with Becky and Tamina?
It wasn't too bad. Obviously, with Tamina in there, you're not going to get that much of a great match. But, I mean, Becky did what she could. There's a couple of great spots. You know, there was a point where Becky was on, like, the top rope, and she was kind of, she walked off, and then she was hanging kind of on Tamina's shoulders, and then she put her in a cross arm breaker, which I thought was a great spot by Becky Lynch, and once again it just shows how talented she could be in the ring and how versatile she is. So I liked it, and the promo that Becky Lynch cut afterwards, fucking great. Another great promo 2 weeks in a row by Becky Lynch, really hyping up this feud. And I think really turning this feud around. You know, when Becky Lynch for Charlotte first started, it was kind of like, who cares, it's another feud. But I think as the weeks have gone on, this feud has become one of the more interesting ones in the WWE. They're really hyping this up as a good feud. We're getting good promos. Having Charlotte play, Ric Flair's daughter, which, I mentioned last week, when Charlotte first came up, everybody's thinking, okay, we don't want to see her as Ric Flair's daughter. But we're seeing it in a heel type of fashion, kind of WWE, like shoving it in her face on purpose, which I'm liking. But like I said, Becky Lynch has been on fire on the microphone 2 weeks in a row. So, what they've done over the past couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, has actually gotten me a little intrigued on what could happen this Sunday. So, like I said, hats off to both girls. Like I said, this has probably been one of the more interesting Divas feuds on the main roster in quite some time, and something I think people, I see a lot of people praising it, and I think it's well justified.
Let me ask you something. I know the last couple of months, Tom, you were trashing like the division, the Divas division, and who's feuding or whatever. But do you think this gap between TLC and the Rumble might have helped them out? Not only this feud, but I think the Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose is pretty good. I know Kalisto and Alberto, it was like almost I don't say last minute thing, but it was a change of plan due to John Cena's injury. I'm pretty sure he was the original plan to have him feud with Del Rio for the United States title, but you just feel like this gap going on has had the writers time to come up with better things. Like, okay, let's just write this story down. All the story up developing to the Rumble, you think with this gap might have helped out a lot?
Oh yeah, I think so. It takes time to properly build up feuds, and it takes time to get people invested in whatever storylines or feuds you're presenting on TV. You can't do it in 2 or 3 weeks, and especially after a big pay-per-view. You can't do that. You need a little bit of time, and you need a little bit of breather to kind of just build this up. But like I said, it's really only been Charlotte and Becky Lynch that I think has been the standout feud so far leading into the Rumble, because there really hasn't been anything else. Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose has been okay, and we know they're going to have a good last standing match. But I think as far as storyline purposes and mic work goes, I think Charlotte and Becky Lynch right now has the more interesting one. And that's surprising. If you would have told me that a month ago, I would have said you're out of your mind. But it just shows what happens when you let these guys and girls go out there, cut the promos, get the time in the ring, and kind of let themselves be a different type of character.
All right. Tom, not Tom. Nathan, you have a comment to this match?
I thought it was actually the best thing to happen in the Divas Revolution since it started, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, to give Divas a chance, which turns into the Divas Revolution. I think Becky Lynch is great, and she doesn't get enough credit for what she's doing, and I think she just comes off really well, and I think they just need to figure out how to run with it and go from there. But I enjoyed it.
All right. A little later on, we're going to give out our Royal Rumble predictions, and especially we're going to talk about this match later on. yeah, let's move on. Next match, you got Dean Ambrose teaming up with Kalisto, going against Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus. I think this match was okay. I feel like it started off real slow until the end when Kalisto got tagged in, and then it got it got exciting. I just felt like they put in Dean Ambrose way too long until he tags Kalisto, and then that's why I feel like that Columbus crowd woke up, because with Kalisto's the speed and the ability he has in the ring work, I just felt like he had excitement during that match. But unfortunately, Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus won the match because Sheamus did the bro kick on Kalisto, and then that's pretty much the end of that match. And let's start with Tom. Tom, what's your thought of the beginning of that? Sorry, not the end, but that match between Kalisto and Dean Ambrose going against the League of Nations?
That was okay. Once again, kind of just like another, not that special of a tag match. Had some okay spots here and there. Just more building up into Royal Rumble. Building up Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose. Kevin Owens, once again, hilarious on commentary. I love when he says, "Don't be a star, be a Bowie." I love when he shits all over Byron Saxton, and it's the best thing ever because Byron Saxton is so terrible. I mean, Byron Saxton, I always gave Byron Saxton a lot of leeway. I always said, when he first debuted on SmackDown, I gave him a little bit of leeway. When he came on Raw, gave him a little bit of leeway, but he is just awful.
He was good in NXT, but with Tom Phillips, but something happened there, and he's just not good anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I just feel like he needs to be on a tape show. Live, he's terrible. I mean, remember that? I think it was Raw when Brock Lesnar, it was the night after WrestleMania when Brock Lesnar destroyed the freaking announce team, and then he had to go by himself, and then I guess
that was
the King. That was terrible. Yeah, I just think live TV he can't do it, but if he was on SmackDown or NXT, he could do it. But I just feel like on live TV he just can't do it at all.
It's kind of the same problem I have with Renee Young. But
I mean, Renee Young, I think, has gotten to the point where they gave up with her on commentary and just stuck her in the backstage role, which is where she's most comfortable, and I think that's where she shines the most. But and especially, like I said, ever since Morrow got on SmackDown, like, I didn't watch SmackDown, but I saw people commenting on it, and I kind of watched a little bit of the replays. How much better is the commentary on SmackDown? I mean, even with Jerry Lawler on there, and people have been shitting on Jerry Lawler for years, but Jerry Lawler is a clear-cut heel, and Mauro as the clear-cut babyface, and it's like night and day. It's night and day.
Yeah. I was gonna mention that, like, they brought the heel character back on Jerry Lawler's commentary. That's pretty cool, And I guess they moved what's his name, Top Phillips, back to NXT, which I don't think is like a how can I say it? It's not a freaking demoted. I just feel like they need to put more spots around. So now they hire Mauro. I can't pronounce his name right, but I think that's what happened, and that's pretty cool. I think I'm happy for Top Phillips to go back to NXT. And but the only thing about Mauro is I don't know how he is on live. I know he did boxing and all that stuff before, but I'm not quite sure how he'll do live. Like, if I want him to go to Raw or do pay-per-views, I mean, I'll have to question that before that. But I have to see how he does live. I've seen like his past work, like the New Japan, and now he's on SmackDown. He's doing a good job of it. So. It just feels like a New Japan invasion, especially all the rumors we're hearing right now. But anyways, it's just hold on. Before we move on, Nathan, you have a comment on that match between Kalisto and the last match we're talking about?
I enjoyed it. I still don't understand why they did what they did with Kalisto, having him win the U.S. title and then lose it back to Del Rio, because I've never understood that type of booking in WWE. But regardless of that, I thought it was a good match, and the only problem that I'm really having is that I like Del Rio, I like Kalisto, but I'm having a problem caring about Dean Ambrose at this point, because I never really have, and it's just, there's a lot of guys in the mid-tier that they're not giving me a reason to care. And
all right, well,
that's the problem.
Well, you know what I was thinking? I think they're doing what they did with Chris Jericho. Remember when he won the WWE title from Triple H, and then again, he had a strip or something like that, and what was the reaction? I think that's what they try to do with this guy. I think they want to push this guy, and they want to see, okay, what if we give him the U.S. title? Let's see how the crowd reacts. And then he got a good reaction. So I know they're trying to push this guy. Now that, Sin Cara is injured and they have an opportunity to see what he could do in singles by himself, I think they really want to push this guy, almost like another Rey Mysterio type push. I'm not saying he's going to win the Royal Rumble, beat Mysterio's record, and he's going to go move on to WrestleMania and become champion. I'm not saying that, but they want to have a guy that, okay, let's just say they got nothing for Bray Wyatt. Okay, we'll put him against Kalisto. We got nothing for, let's just say, our heel Randy Orton. We'll put him against Kalisto. Or have him against, if you want to put him in a title match with a 4-way or something, they could add him in there. I think that's what they're trying to do with Kalisto. I like what they're doing. I mean, like I said, when he got signed, when I used to see him a lot in PW, well, not a lot, but when I saw him at PWG, and then when I heard he got signed, I just want to hope he has a Hall of Fame career. He doesn't have to win a WWE World title to have that. So, so far, he's going on the right track, and I'm happy for him. That's all I got to say. All right, next match, which before we talk about that match, before that match happened, New Day had a little renewal for that fucking trumpet. I think they named it Francesca, whatever. And yeah, that's what they did. It was Xavier was all crying his ass off or whatever, and they did a thing or whatever. And then they had a thing going on and said, okay, Big E, you have to go against Jay Uso, and that's basically what happened. It was a single match with Big E and Jay Uso, and I don't know, I feel no excitement in this match at all. Only you can see this. I don't know if this was legit, but he looked like Jay injured his leg, but it could be just a work. But Big E just got the victory. And I believe those guys are having a tag team match for the tag titles at this Sunday SummerSlam between the Usos and New Day. And yeah, Big E won the match. Tom, what's your thought of that match?
I'd just like to say, can we take some time to remember Francesca, the trombone? Rest in peace. A lot of good memories. But once again, entertaining stuff from New Day. I think only New Day could make a funeral for an inanimate object be entertaining. So that was some funny stuff, and I didn't think the match was too bad. There were some nice spots. Big E is a maniac. When he went for that splash on the apron and missed it, I cringed. I'm just thinking, Big E, we don't need somebody else out with an injury. We have enough people out with injuries. Play it a little safer. But we all know that Big E, he always takes big bumps, and this is part of his thing. So hopefully he can stay healthy with that. But I didn't think it was bad, and he got the win with the big ending. I liked that. So it was. I thought it was okay. I thought it was the most consistent thing on the show so far.
I'm kind of in agreement with Tom here. This was the thing up until this point that made the most sense on the show, will likely get a tag title match, or a tag team match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view between the Usos and the New Day, and that's the only way I could see it going. The problem is that since they're doing this one versus all thing, it's like they're doing that, so we know that for sure, but have they really announced any other matches for the Royal Rumble besides that? Because I don't, to my knowledge, think they have.
Intercontinental title match, Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, last man standing. U.S. title match, Uso and Del Rio. Divas title match, tag team title match. So they've announced the rest of the title matches along with the Royal Rumble.
That shows how much I actually pay attention to the commentary and the graphics and shit, because
it would be hard. It would be hard to miss it. It would be hard to miss it if you're not paying, close attention to everything. Can I just comment before we keep going? I've never ever seen this one versus all booking bullshit of Roman Reigns going into the Rumble is so utterly ridiculous. I think this is going beyond John Cena levels. This is going beyond John Cena levels. Because before it was, it would be something they throw in front of John Cena and then he overcomes it. But with this, it's like they keep on saying it over and over and over. One versus all. The odds are stacked against Roman Reigns. And now on SmackDown this week, he's got to face all 4 members of League of Nations. How will Roman Reigns survive going into the Rumble? It is getting so ridiculous. And this is what people didn't want with Roman Reigns. People are going to start booing the shit out of this guy. This is not like a babyface people want to cheer for. Yeah. This is not a babyface people want to cheer for.
It plays up their whole, because they always talk about John Cena being the most controversial superstar in WWE history. And first of all, Michael Cole doesn't know what the word controversy means, because it means that you do something that's out of the ordinary that's going to get people talking. The only thing John Cena does that's controversial is he's a face who gets booed. That's not the definition of controversy. It's just that people aren't taking to you. And Roman Reigns is going to have to overcome the same stigma, and and Michael Cole is probably going to do the same exact thing for him, saying that Roman Reigns is the most controversial superstar in WWE history, blah 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 blah. And my problem with Roman Reigns, and I think a lot of people's problem with Roman Reigns, is he he caters to the casuals very nicely. I will give them that. But as far as us who are sitting here and the fans that watch week to week to week, he's not that good. And the way they book him does not do him any favors, because they are treating him like the underdog, but then they'll treat him like the underdog one week, and then they'll treat him like Stone Cold Steve Austin the next week. And it's like they don't know what they want him to be. And that is a problem.
Yeah, I feel you guys are saying. I mean, to me, he's just like Cena. This is me, as a guy who not only watches WWE, but everything else, a true wrestling fan. When I think about Roman Reigns, I don't have a problem with him. I'm not saying I like the guy or I hate the guy, but he's a guy that I'll never buy his merchandise or whatever. I just see him like whatever. Like, okay, I'm proud of him to be our WWE champion, or I hate him that he's our WWE champion. It's a disgrace. I'm like in the middle. So the same way with Cena, I felt the same way for him too. I know everybody hates him because of his fucking armbands or whatever. But I remember one point everybody loved John Cena. I remember one point I feel like 2 years ago everybody was on the Roman Reigns bandwagon until he won the Rumble. But I can't agree with it. They just don't know what to do with him. I think his mic skills does suck. I don't think his jokes are funny. He should ask his fucking cousin The Rock to help him out with a thing or two. I think The Rock is one of the best guys, in the mic. in history. He's one of the best guys out there. So I don't know why he doesn't take tips from The Rock, but I will. But let's just move on from Roman Reigns. You had a 8-man tag, which it was funny in the beginning that they all it was Tyson O'Neil, Mark Henry, and R-Truth coming out talking about the Royal Rumble and Martin Luther King, and they all threw the little hand thing with the team thing, and then Neville came in. Funny part is, he's not black, and he got in there, and then he said, well, Neville has a dream too. He wants to become the world champ, so it just got into it. It was like one of those moments where they're trying to be funny because of the whole racial thing. But it was Team Neville, R-Truth, Tyson O'Neil, and Mark Henry going against the Ascension, Tyler Breeze, and Stardust, which it was not, like I said, another match was not too exciting, which Neville hit the red arrow on Breeze, and Neville, R-Truth, Titus O'Neil, and Mark Henry won, and looks like Tyler Breeze could be done. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion in this match, but I don't know if you guys want to comment on this 8-man tag.
The only thing I'll say about it is that I agree with you that Tyler Breeze is dead in the water.
It is so disappointing. I mean, a pointless 8-man tag for what reason? It's not even like they were hyping these guys up for the Rumble. It was just like, here's just a random 8-man tag. And I thought it was funny because if you looked on Twitter during this match, and if you looked on Twitter after this match, people were saying how Neville is now their favorite black superstar because he was just put in there with 3 black superstars on Martin Luther King Day and got the pin, which I saw a lot of people commenting about. Whether it was justified or not, I don't know. But it's just, Tyler Breeze, so disappointing. And once again, it just shows that no matter how much some of the powers that be like you, like I said, you could have Triple H behind you 100%. He could love everything you do, and he could be thinking that you're the next best thing. But if you don't have Vince behind you, you're going to be dead. If you don't have Vince and all of his upper management guys with you, you're going to be dead in the water. You're going to be dead in the water, and it's disappointing because it's going to really halt how many guys' careers. Like I said, I know Tyler Breeze is still young, and he technically, I wouldn't say he's totally dead yet. I mean, there's a chance that they could just kind of keep him off TV and then kind of reintroduce him. But so why did they bring him up in the first place? I seriously don't get it. I don't get what is the point of bringing these guys up if you're just going to make these guys look like complete geeks. It's not even like Tyler Breeze is putting up a fight anymore. He got one victory over Dolph Ziggler, and that's it. And Dolph Ziggler won the next night on Raw. So that win at Survivor Series was pointless. Why do you bring these guys up to your show if you're not going to use them properly? I seriously, it blows my mind by that logic. It seriously blows my mind. It's like going out and you buy like a PS4 or an Xbox One. Expensive systems. They're not cheap. And the games aren't cheap either. But imagine going out and buying like 5 or 6 games. That's how much money? That's over, $200, $300 just on games. And then imagine not playing them. Just saying, I wanted just to buy them just to see how they were. And not giving them a chance. What is the point? Why are you doing these things and expecting your own result? You can't do that. It's just, and like I said, you feel bad for the guys because, like I said, Tyler Breeze was in developmental for how long and worked his butt to find a character that worked, and he did. And now he is on TV making money, and he looks like a joke. And, he's probably getting paid better, but at what price?
Yeah, and another thing is that I just want to comment. I mean, when I saw, when he paired with Summer Rae, I thought it'd be something interesting and then they found out, when I found out that they going to split them up in a stupid way, by the way. I just saw that, this is downhill. This is going downhill. And, yeah. Well, I feel bad for Skid. He really loves Tyler Breeze, but I feel bad for Skid, though.
I remember reading a long time ago on somewhere that Vince McMahon and the WWE didn't want to bring up anybody from NXT unless they had a concrete idea for what they wanted to do with them on the main roster. But that, to me, has kind of been lost because a lot of these call-ups have been sabotaged from the very beginning. I mean, you had Adam Rose, who was good for about 2 weeks, and then they had to change his theme song because they didn't have the rights to it, and it kind of killed it. And then they had Tyler Breeze, who they totally just bombed on. The only two people that I consider to be any good as far as NXT call-ups have been Kevin Owens and Adrian Neville, and I'm talking recent NXT call-ups, not the Shield, because they were technically FCW. Not NXT, even though they were there towards the end of their run was towards the beginning of the NXT transition, with Seth Rollins being the first NXT champion, but still, they were mainly FCW guys. And I don't know what the difference between that and NXT is, but the transition from NXT to the main roster hasn't been good. And part of me wonders if Vince McMahon is sabotaging these call-ups on purpose. I know that sounds crazy, but it's Vince McMahon and he's nuts. So it's not that too far-fetched to really think about.
And I don't know, maybe it's just almost like saying, the main roster is 10 times better in NXT, so I'm going to bury
exactly, and that's kind of what I get from it. Or Vince McMahon is secretly jealous of Triple H for creating something literally out of nothing and having his own thing, and then when Vince McMahon gets his claws in on Triple H's guys, he's just going to make him look like shit because that's what he's been doing. It's like, look at Bo Dallas. Look what NXT did with Bo Dallas. Now what is he doing on the main roster? Absolutely nothing. He's on Superstars. And nobody watches that show.
Yeah. Oh, well, I just tell you this right now. I feel bad for guys like me. When Baron Corbin debuts, I don't see him doing anything in the main roster. Or guys like, I tried to think of their names, like, I'm afraid that guys like Dash Wilder and Scott Thompson probably won't do anything in the main roster. But I feel like guys like Finn Balor, I don't know if they ever bring Samoa Joe in there, but I feel like those guys will do something in the main roster. And
I think Finn Balor will not.
Guys will do something in the main roster.
I think they're going to drop the ball on Finn Balor.
You really think so?
I don't think. I do. I'm not. It's nothing against Finn Balor. The only thing that I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's a little lacking in the charisma department as far as promos and stuff like that. So the only thing to remedy that would be to give him a mouthpiece, meaning a manager. But I don't see him going very far on the main roster. I really hope I'm wrong, because he's a talented guy and he deserves to be a success on the main roster. I just don't see it.
I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody at this point in NXT to make it onto the main roster with a good amount of success. Finn Balor, maybe, but there's still some things in the way that you could say could hinder his progress. Samoa Joe, maybe, but that's what it is. It's like maybe. It's like we're questioning this. We're questioning guys like Finn Balor and Samoa Joe and AJ Styles and Nakamura coming in and Sami Zayn, and we're questioning all these guys with all this amount of talent, and we're questioning if they're going to be successors when it should be a given. It should just be a given that if you have the talent, you have the charisma, you've gotten over, you've progressed yourself, that you should be able to make it. But that's not the case anymore. And that's what's so scary and so shitty about the main roster now, is that you could do everything you want to try and be a success, and it's still not guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's just move on from all this, and let's just end this thing. This whole Raw talk. But in the end, you have the highlight reel. Paul Heyman came out by himself, and I guess he doesn't want Lesnar to come out, and he got a little face-to-face interview with Jericho. Jericho asked him this question to Heyman, which he kind of ticked off Lesnar, that results in him coming out. But I guess he asked him that the reason why you want to put him in the Rumble in the first place is you don't have confidence that he'll win the Rumble or whatever. And then I guess that pissed off Lesnar. Lesnar came down, and then Roman Reigns came down, like while he was coming down, and then he put the title on the floor of the ring, and then he told Lesnar to come down. Lesnar walked out, was walking around like he usually do. He came in the ring. The next notice, Roman Reigns speared him, and then he was attacking him until the League of Nations came out. Both guys cleared house. Next notice, the Wyatts came out, and then they attacked both of them. And then Bray Wyatt did the sister having got Brock Lesnar and left them both laying down, and that's how Raw ended. And that's got me thinking, WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt. That's kind of saying, okay, that's what they're going to do with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's what it looks like it's going. But
yeah,
what do you guys thought of the ending of Raw?
It was interesting. Most interesting part of the show, and, as it should be, you have Paul Heyman out there, and I'm surprised. Last year they didn't do the typical Royal Rumble type of, all 30 guys out there. Or
they have SmackDown for that still, so that still could happen.
Yeah. But usually they'll do something on Raw, too. They didn't do it last year, but I thought, like I said, it was a better build-up than last year, because last year we got absolutely nothing. We got a even more shit build-up to the Rumble. But this was really interesting, obviously, for a number of reasons. You saw Lesnar get taken out by Reigns twice with 2 spears. Lesnar was taken out the League of Nations. But obviously the one that everyone's talking about is the Wyatt family coming in and just dismantling Brock Lesnar. When the Wyatts showed up, you figure, okay, Lesnar's going to counter one of them, take out all 4 guys, and look dominant. But that wasn't the case. And it really surprised me. I liked it and hated it for a couple of reasons. I liked it because it finally, we see some sort of dominance in the Wyatt family that we've been waiting for ever since they made their debut a couple of years ago. It's what we've been waiting for. We've been craving Bray Wyatt to actually look like a dominant type of cult leader. But it's the same notion. You look back at Raw last week, and you saw the Wyatts kind of running away from the Social Outcasts and Ryback. So once again, it goes back to this flip-flop type of booking by WWE. One week the Wyatts are running away from the Social Outcasts and Ryback, and then the next week they're beating down the most feared wrestler in the WWE. So it's like, how do you go by that logic? I see why they do it. It creates more of a mystique as to who can win. It's not just like, okay, it's either going to be Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. Now it leaves more questions up in the air. Now you're thinking, okay, Bray Wyatt now really has a really good chance to win the Rumble. Could Luke Harper turn on Bray Wyatt and win the Rumble? What about Braun Strowman? And possibly Eric Rowan. If you would have told me a year ago that Eric Rowan would be laying out Brock Lesnar at the Raw before the Rumble, I would have laughed in your face. But, Eric Rowan took out Brock Lesnar, and that was surprising. I thought Rowan was going to get F5'd or German suplexed or something, but no, all Wyatt stood tall. All the Wyatt family stood tall. So, very interesting. And to Monday Night Raw, definitely didn't expect that. You know, I expected either Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar to stand tall, but to see the Wyatt family stand tall at the end of Raw is something different, something interesting. Whether or not it leads to anything remains to be seen. We'll talk about it. We'll probably have the same conversation next week and see what the final result is. But, yeah, like I said, it was different. It was interesting. Whether or not it made too much sense as far as continuity goes, that's up in the air. But, hey, WWE is doing something different.
Yes, definitely. You say anything, Nate?
I was just going to say, last night on Eyes on the Ring, True God Immortal asked me who the three guys I would pick to win the Royal Rumble. And jokingly, well, I didn't have an answer, but jokingly I said Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns. And then I promptly got hung up on, so I had to call back into the show. But that was 24 hours before, about 21 hours before Raw aired. But after Raw went off the air, I have a little better idea of what the three guys could be, because it could either be Brock Lesnar winning, Roman Reigns winning, even though I hope to God that doesn't happen, or Bray Wyatt could win the Royal Rumble. So either of those three guys looked really strong, looked like viable contenders tonight. And I'm wondering, like, they could throw a monkey wrench into the entire thing and have someone else win it, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go with either Lesnar or Reigns, and Bray Wyatt, although he would be a viable option, would be more of a dark horse for the Royal Rumble. But that's the way I kind of see it going. But I don't think there's too many other options that you could really go with.
All right. Well, let's just take a commercial break right now, and then when we come back, I guess let's just give our actual predictions of this Sunday's Royal Rumble. So, we'll be right back, and maybe we'll see this guy this weekend.
What's up? This is the phenomenal AJ Styles down here in LA, kicking it with the PWG, busting my tail. Freaking great tournament, the bowler tournament is freaking amazing. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, everybody and anybody needs to listen to Wrestling Head Podcast.
We are here in the sunny California. This is the aerial assassin Will Ospreay, and this is Wrestling Hits.
Okay, other sound bites don't work, but we're getting new ones, and they're coming. Don't worry, they're coming. We're getting new sound bites, and I released them. You guys will love them. So just wait for those new sound bites. All right. I think we should give out our little Royal Rumble predictions. We're gonna do right now. Let's just go by the card one by one. For the WWE Tag Team Championships, you got the New Day going against the Usos. I'm going to go for the New Day on this one. I don't see the Usos walking out. The only way I can see the New Day dropping the titles if they got something planned for the New Day at WrestleMania that doesn't involve the tag team titles. So if they're going to drop, I think it'd be WrestleMania. But I don't know. If they have something planned for Mania, if it's about tag team champions or not. But I think that's the only way I see them dropping it this Sunday if they have something planned for them. After the Rumble, that's something big for them. So I don't see that happening. So I'm sticking with New Day. Tom, what do you got?
This one's really strange to me because I feel like they've really been trying to build up the Usos. You know, they had them win the Slammy for Tag Team of the Year, and they had them breaking Xavier Woods' trombone and all that and all this different stuff. So it really seems like they're going to be giving the Usos the edge. I'm going to go with New Day, though. I still feel like they'll still find a way to capture the titles. And just like you said, I feel like if they're going to do a big title change, they're going to do it probably at WrestleMania. So I think New Day is going to win this.
All right. Nathan?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Tom on this one. I mean, the New Day, I think, is going to win. I don't think they should go back to the Usos because they've had enough opportunities, not to say that they won't get another one, but I think it's a little bit too soon to do that. Plus, it's like the Usos, whenever they get the belt, it's like they're the tag team version of John Cena. And we all know how sick of John Cena we were a few years ago prior to the U.S. Open Challenge because that freshened them up. But the Usos are the tag team equivalent of John Cena, so I do not want to see them get another WWE World Title or World Tag Team title run because it would be pointless and we'd be back to the exact same thing in the tag division that we've been seeing for the longest time now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that was match number 1. Next match, for the Divas title, we got Charlotte against Becky Lynch. For some reason, I'm going to stick with Charlotte. I don't see Becky Lynch walking out with the Divas title. For some reason, I still feel like even though Paige was not involved of this thing this weekend, and you saw her, signing with Natalia, I still think Paige has to get involved somehow because it all started with the BBC, or I forgot what name that group now was, and I think it'll make sense that you put Paige later on, and then you have then we could do a triple threat match in WrestleMania. That's what I think they should do. So I'm gonna stick with Charlotte in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Charlotte, too. Obviously, they're going to find a way to have her still keep the strap. I feel like this match is still going to make Becky Lynch still come out strong. That's why I'm thinking like a dirty finish or something like that, whether it be using the ropes, holding the tights, some sort of typical, old-fashioned heel winning tactic I think is going to happen. So who knows? But I think Charlotte retains, to have this all go on, to have Becky win, I think wouldn't make a lot of sense. It would be good, but I think if you're just talking from a storyline standpoint, it would make more sense to have Charlotte retain. So I'm going to pick Charlotte on this one.
I'm going to go with Becky Lynch, and the reason why is because I think that she is going to do something to outsmart the Flairs and win the title, or something I was thinking a while ago, and this probably won't happen. In fact, it has a snowball's chance in hell of happening, but there is the off chance that Ric Flair could decide to turn his back on his own daughter and side with Becky Lynch, which would be extremely weird, but we have to remember what company we're talking about. It's WWE, and they have done stranger things before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Interesting. All right, well, finally got finally got someone got a different opinion, but hey, we'll see what happens this Sunday. All right. For the WWE United States Championship, we got the challenger Kalisto going against Alberto Del Rio. And you know what? This time I'm going to pick a title change. I think Kalisto is going to walk out United States Champion. I feel like he's going to walk out due to the fact now the crowd got, the reaction how he won the title and everything. So I'm picking Kalisto on this one.
I'm going to go with Del Rio. I don't know why they had Kalisto win the title, only to have Del Rio win it back, but then she just keeps flip-flopping this title back and forth. Really wouldn't make much sense, so I'm going to go with Del Rio to hold on to the United States title. if Kalisto would have held on to the title, I would have said Kalisto in this one, but I just feel like Del Rio is going to keep this title.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
going to go with Tom on this
Nathan?
one. I've got Del Rio winning. I think Kalisto winning the title on Raw last week was kind of testing to see whether or not a title change like that would work. So I could see them doing it again on a bigger stage like the Royal Rumble. I just don't think they're going to do that with the U.S. title because they already flip-flopped it once. So I don't think they're going to do it again because I think that would be too much. Granted, they've done that before, but I don't think it needs to be done because we're all questioning Kalisto winning it and then going on and losing it on SmackDown. So we don't need to question it further by saying, well, why did Kalisto win the title back at the Royal Rumble? And because then we'd be sitting here and saying, well, what was the point of all those title changes?
All right. Well, we'll see what happens this Sunday. Next match. Last man standing match for the Intercontinental Championship. You got Kevin Owens going against the champion, Dean Ambrose. This one, I feel like this should be a grunge match. I kind of want this to continue on, but it's just I don't know, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to take Dean Ambrose because there's all these rumors going around that maybe Kevin Owens is going to go against The Undertaker, but have him lose to Ambrose, would that kind of make him look weak going against The Undertaker? Because I kind of feel like Kevin Owens needs to win that match. But at the same time, what will you do for him for Fastlane if this is like the grunge match? Who are you going to have him feud for 1 month? That's my question. Unless they're planning to have him lose and then maybe have him disappear for a while and he comes back and he challenges Undertaker for WrestleMania. I don't know if that's the case they want to do. And maybe they could do something like what I said, make him disappear, just get an answer. He'll just tag somebody random like Kalisto 1 week or Neville 1 week until he gets an answer from The Undertaker. I don't know. That's probably another way he could do it, but I don't see Kevin Owens going in wrestling as Intercontinental Champion going against The Undertaker. I don't see it if that's the route they're going. But it looks like they're gonna have to go that route. So I'm picking Dean Ambrose on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ambrose too. I think as well as Kevin Owens has been booked, it's like a loss won't really hurt Kevin Owens because he's so over, and I think he's one of the rare cases where it looks like he actually has a good future and he can be booked into main event pictures. So I feel like he's going to move on to other things going into WrestleMania besides the Intercontinental title match. So, I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose. I don't know. It's weird because I see more happening for Kevin Owens post-Royal Rumble leading into WrestleMania than I see Dean Ambrose. I don't know where Dean Ambrose goes or who he feuds with. There's a lot left up in the air for him in that sense. I see more of a bigger picture for Kevin Owens.
All right.
As much as I don't want to say this, I think that Dean Ambrose is going to win. I don't know if you guys know, but if I've made it a secret, on Eyes in the Ring, I don't like Dean Ambrose. I never really have. I never really understood his appeal. He's not that good, in my opinion. But I think he's going to win this match because Kevin Owens going back with the Intercontinental title doesn't make too much sense to me. I think Dean Ambrose in the Last Man Standing match will kind of be fun because it's a match that he can be all crazy in, and they can finally convince you that he's crazy because they've been doing that for months, and he hasn't done anything crazy like. But I think if the route that they want to go is to put Kevin Owens with Dean Ambrose, or with The Undertaker come WrestleMania. If that's what they want to do, then Kevin Owens has to lose this match in order to get past the Intercontinental title and move on to bigger and better things. And it's weird that a loss would do that, but in this case, it would.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in my prediction. I wasn't sure how they're going to do that with The Undertaker, but if they do what I said, just have him disappear until he comes back, challenge The Undertaker, let's have The Undertaker not answer it until he gets an answer by beating down other wrestlers, and that's how you do it. So,
yeah,
I think that's a good way to do it, but I don't know if they'll do that right now. Or maybe they have another way, so we'll see. All right. And then you can say your main event, which will be the 30-man over-the-top Royal Rumble. But before we give out our predictions, I want to ask you guys a couple of questions about the Royal Rumble. All right. First off, question number 1. Will we see any legends be surprise entry? I'm going to start off with Tom.
Any legends? I think so. Who is? I have no idea. Maybe RVD. I'm trying to think of who they've used in years past. Maybe Vader. Who knows? I don't know. Legends are pretty tough to tell. So, yeah, I don't know who exactly they said. I'm just throwing out a couple of names, but I think there'll be 1 or 2 legends coming in.
All right, Nathan?
There's only one legend that I could think of off the top of my head that would possibly be in this match, and that would be Diamond Dallas Page. For some reason, I could see him being in this match. Other than that, I have no idea who else could be in it. But I wouldn't mind seeing...
Wasn't he in last year's Rumble?
Yeah.
He might have been. And if that's the case, he probably won't be in this year's. But that's the only thing that I could think of that would really answer the question. Otherwise, I have no idea. But we are probably going to get at least 2 or 3 legends. Because with the roster as thin as it is, they're going to have to do something to fill out these 30 guys in this match.
All right. Right now, I could think of 1, but I have to pick 1. Might shock all of you, but the one I'm going to pick is probably a name that you're like, oh, whatever, but it might shock all you guys, but I'm going to pick, if I had to pick a legend and surprise anybody in the Rumble, will be Matt Hardy. And I'll tell you why. I think his TNA contract just ran out, so he's now a free agent. So why not?
Is he still the TNA champion, though?
No, he's not. I guess for all you guys who watch TNA, I think to turn it down, I have to be spoiled, but I'm going to just give out the spoiler out right now. So if you guys don't want to know what's going on in TNA tomorrow, just turn it off. Or maybe I might spoil it, but I guess
I'm not going to watch it either.
Tomorrow night. Okay, well, I guess tomorrow night he's going to wrestle EC3, and if he loses, he's out of TNA. And I think, Eric got taped already, and I guess he already lost. And he put out a tweet. He said, "Oh, thank you, Impact fans, for giving support to me and my family." And he basically, thank you guys. He put it on Twitter like a few weeks ago. So I believe he's now a free agent. And it would have shocked me if they decided to bring him in, all because it's a good chance, Jeff Hardy could come in, because I think the WWE is interested to bring in the Hardy Boys for future work. Maybe put him in the Hall of Fame or all that stuff. So I think it would have surprised me if they bring in Matt Hardy as a surprise entry.
It's funny. You mentioned Matt Hardy, and one name that kind of pops into my head from that, maybe not Matt Hardy, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe the Hurricane doing an appearance.
I don't know. I think he's in TNA now. I believe he's.
I don't even watch TNA, so I wouldn't even know. I thought he was only in TNA for a little bit.
I believe he's gonna be in TNA more often, so I doubt the Hurricane will be in the Rumble now. So, all right, let's just move on from legends. Let me ask another question. Will we see any NXT talents in the Royal Rumble? I'm gonna start with Sam.
Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn's going to be in the Rumble.
All right.
And I think that's the only one that I can think of. Maybe by a smidge Samoa Joe, but that's very unlikely. I think Sami Zayn has the greatest chance out of any NXT talent right now.
All right.
Baron Corbin.
Nathan?
Baron Corbin would be my choice. Yes.
Are you serious or are you just being sarcastic?
No, I'm being dead serious. Baron Corbin would be my choice to be in the Rumble.
All right. All right, and me, if any NXT guy will be in the Rumble, I have to say Finn Balor, maybe because of the whole rumors going around the Bullet Club is coming, and why not? And all, you see him doing all these teasing. I guess they also made him work as a heel at one NXT show, so I don't know what they're doing with him, but if anything, Finn Balor would be the surprise guy from NXT to be in the Rumble. All right. Before I ask you who's going to win the Rumble, I want to ask you guys one more question. With all these rumors going around with AJ Styles, there's reports that he might not be in the Rumble. He posted something on those videos, a video out there that he's saying he's teasing he'll be in the Rumble. You don't know what's going on, and it's been weeks that we're hearing AJ Styles being in the Rumble. But I'm gonna ask you both something. Will we see AJ Styles this weekend at the Rumble? I'm starting with Tom.
I think we got to. I think he wrestled his last match in Rev Pro against Zack Sabre Jr., dropping the Rev Pro title to Zack Sabre Jr. And, Ring of Honor announced that this weekend in Georgia, AJ Styles is going to be making his last Ring of Honor appearance. Now, they didn't say he was going to be wrestling. All they said is that he was going to be appearing there. And this weekend, we're also seeing the Bullet Club coming to Ring of Honor as well. So I feel like something's going down. I mean, I think it has to go down. If it doesn't, it's either he's going to, I think he's either going to be number 30 at the Rumble, or he is going to appear on Raw the next night, depending on what they have planned for him. So we'll see what happens. We can all just, I think we can all just hope that this guy is going to be used right. Apparently WWE gave him a big money contract. Hopefully, they're seeing the true value in this guy, and that he's probably the best wrestler in the world today. And he's a big talent name coming in. So we'll see.
All right, let me ask you something. If you had to bet money, hold on, Nathan, before you answer, I'm going to ask Tom something. If you had to bet money that AJ Styles going to appear or not, what would be your answer? If you say you have to bet money.
Try to bet money? I bet $20 that he's in the Rumble. If I'm going by odds, if I'm doing Vegas betting, I'd say it's like an 8-1 odds that he gets in the Rumble.
All right. Okay, Nathan, what do you think? You think AJ will be at the Rumble or not?
I think he's not going to be at the Rumble. I think he's going to be at the Raw the night after. Because that way, how WrestleMania, the Raw after WrestleMania is always something big, and this could be a trend to kind of start the whole Raw after Royal Rumble being kind of a big deal. Because having AJ Styles show up on Raw would be a huge deal, and people that are casual viewers of WWE might tune in if they hear, holy shit, AJ Styles is on Raw. People are going to want to see that. And I think doing it at Raw would be better than doing it in the Rumble. The only way to do it at the Rumble would be for him to be the number 1 entrant, and we know that's not going to happen. Or he could be the number 2 entrant. But he would have to enter at in a spot where people are going to notice who he is and where there's not that many people in the ring. So I think the better option would be to wait and debut him the night after on Raw.
I'm going to give out my answer. I think he will be at the Rumble, and I'll tell you why. All right, you guys remember when Sting came out at Survivor Series? That same week, it got linked that he was going to come out, and then they still pulled him out there. All right, let's just put him out there. He still got a pop. You know, there were some videos on YouTube that people post, like their reaction, like, "Oh my God, Sting's here after 14 years, blah blah blah." I think if they put in AJ Styles, you'll get that same reaction. Like, okay, people will go nuts. That Orlando crowd will go nuts. And I see people posting videos like, "Holy shit, AJ Styles in WWE, holy shit." You know, I think it's going to cause, you know, the same way how Sting made his debut in the WWE. So I think he'll be there. But if I see a vignette, like they're reporting, like this is what they're going to do with AJ when he comes in, they're going to start doing vignettes. If I see a vignette during the Royal Rumble that he's coming, then I'll say most likely he will not be in the Royal Rumble match. But, you know, they might do a swerve. They might put in, you know, the vignette he's coming to, and all of a sudden, bam, he shows up in the Rumble. They could do something like that, you know, to make us feel like, okay, he's not coming down at all. Then he does shows up. They could do that as well. But if I had to bet money, I'll say AJ Styles will be at the Rumble this Sunday, and he might be in the Final Four. Anyways, all right, and then let's just ask the next question. Who you guys think is winning the Rumble? And I'm going to start off with Tom. Who do you think is winning the Rumble?
Heath Slater. One-man band, baby. No. As much as this has been a trend, I'm going to have to go with Roman Reigns. I feel like he's going to somehow overcome the odds. Like, you know, it's been presented this whole time. It's like I said, the whole typical John Cena thing. And who challenges Reigns? I think we see Triple H come back after the Rumble, and we see Triple H start leading up to a Triple H Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. Because right now that's all I can think of. Really, I can't think of any other option. I don't see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar happening again. I don't think that happens. And there's really nobody else. You can't really put Dean Ambrose in there because that's two faces. And unless they turn one of them heel, which I doubt, it wouldn't make much sense. Kevin Owens, I don't see fighting for the title. Sheamus, I don't see fighting for the title. Same with Del Rio and Rusev and all that. So I only see Reigns winning and then Triple H challenging him.
All right. Nathan?
I think Roman Reigns is your safe bet. And I think the obvious choice for the main event at WrestleMania is going to be a Roman Reigns versus Triple H, even though I don't want to see that because it just tells you that WWE can't create new stars, or maybe the idea is for Triple H to have a good match with Roman Reigns and try to create a star out of that match. But like I said, I think the three candidates to win this year's Royal Rumble are Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and possibly Bray Wyatt. But I think that Roman Reigns is a safe pick, and I can't bet against him at this point, even though I want to. What I would honestly like to happen is Roman Reigns come in at number one, get eliminated around the 15th entrant, or when the 15th entrant comes in, and then for the back half of the Royal Rumble, you have Roman Reigns not in the match, and then it would be exciting for the last half to see who would win the title out of that, because it would technically be vacant after Reigns lost and got eliminated, but that's probably not going to happen. So I'm just going to go for Roman Reigns to win it because that's the safe, predictable route, and WWE likes to go the safe, predictable route, especially with all the injuries that they've had flare up on the main roster.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick AJ Styles. This is how it's going to happen. AJ and Roman Reigns will be the last two, and then you'll see Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Finn Balor come out of nowhere, and they're going to attack Roman Reigns, and then AJ's going to throw him out. Then you see all these Bullet Club stuff. He'll have the title, and then we're going to see an AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And, yeah, that's going to happen. The Bullet Club is going to invade WWE.
That would be amazing.
Oscar,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I got to know, Oscar. What type of drugs are you taking, and how can I get my hands on them?
Where can I get some?
Yes, where can I get these drugs? Because I am sorry, but you are living in a delusional fantasy land if you think that AJ Styles, remember, yes, AJ Styles is the best wrestler on the planet. Yes, we know he's getting a big money contract and he's going to get a big hike coming into the WWE. But remember, he's a TNA guy through and through. Vince McMahon.
He'll be Intercontinental title at best.
No, I think AJ Styles will be world champion eventually, but on his first night, and especially because then, okay, but then that would mean that it's AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns, probably WrestleMania. Don't see that happening at all, 100%, because two reasons. Number one, just like I said, AJ Styles is a TNA guy through and through. Vince is going to make AJ Styles work for that world title. Number two,
I would see Roman Reigns pick a Bloody Sunday.
If AJ Styles wins the title at the Rumble on Sunday and then goes into WrestleMania facing Roman Reigns is going to get shit on again for the second year in a row. And that is something that WWE does not want to see. So that is why that plan is not happening. Like I said, I don't know what drugs you're taking, but me and Nathan need to get our hands on it because, I mean, we would be booking everything.
Yeah, but that's actually my, that'll be my dream pick. But that's not going to happen. No, I know that.
And another thing is you keep predicting that the Balor Club, Finn Balor, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles possibly is going to be on the main roster. I completely disagree. I think the only way that works is through NXT because you can't put that on the main roster right away because not everybody's going to get the references. Not everybody's going to get that Finn Balor and Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows used to be in the Bullet Club together, and then AJ Styles became the eventual leader after Finn Balor left. Not everybody's going to get that on the main roster because you have a lot of casual fans that don't watch the Indies and don't watch New Japan. You do it on NXT, everybody's going to get the references. People are going to go crazy. So I feel like if they're going to do the Balor Club, it's going to be down in NXT exclusively.
Yeah, but let me just give my real prediction. The whole AJ Styles thing was my dream one, but that's not gonna. We all know that's not gonna happen. All right, my actual pick, it's the same thing like you said, Tom. I'm gonna go Roman Reigns, and good chance they're gonna go against Triple H, but. Come on, Nathan. I saw that tweet. But now you're gonna give me shit now. All right.
Come on, I had to.
I know you. Whatever. But anyways, yeah. If they could do a little swerve at us or a little curveball, maybe Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. But then you hear the dong goes out and the Undertaker comes out and he challenges him for the title. I mean, they could go that way because, his opponent, John Cena, is no longer there. Maybe the Triple H has a change of heart, like, okay, maybe I should not participate. There's no need for me to participate in WrestleMania. So, fuck it. There's no opponent for me, fuck it. Unless he wants to wrestle AJ Styles, but that's on him. But, they could go that route because, who knows, maybe they don't want to do Kevin Owens and Undertaker. So why not Roman Reigns and Undertaker at WrestleMania? But, yeah, like I said like about a month ago, I think it's going to be Roman Reigns and Triple H at WrestleMania because that's why they're doing this 30-man Rumble because, it wouldn't make sense for Triple H to go after Roman Reigns. But, that's the all-for-one thing is all set up for a Roman Reigns Triple H match at WrestleMania. And we might see Roman Reigns still walk out WWE champion at this year's WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas. So that's my prediction right there. And that's pretty much our WrestleMania prediction for this Sunday's event. Hopefully it's going to be great. You guys can watch it on the WWE Network, and if you don't have it, I guess it's cost $60 a pay-per-view. If you guys still have pay-per-view, go for it. Who knows? I'll watch it just in case. You never know. AJ Styles might appear. Bullet Club might appear. Nakamura might appear. Who knows? I mean, it's going to be some crazy event, and we might be talking about it next week on WH Radio. I'm pretty sure Raw next week is going to be 10 times better than earlier tonight's Raw. So, yeah.
I hope so. They don't have a high ceiling, though.
They don't have much to live up to next week. I think if they have like one good match, it'll be better than this week's Raw.
Okay, even if AJ Styles doesn't appear on the Rumble, do you think are you sure that Raw's not going to be like tonight's Raw?
I don't know. Depends. It depends. I think also on the crowd next week and what happens with the Rumble, because if Roman Reigns wins the Rumble and we get like a red hot crowd for Raw next week, oh my God, they're gonna shit all over the guy. They're gonna shit on anything he does. They're gonna cheer for everybody.
Where is Raw next week?
Is it in Florida? Are they staying in Florida?
It has to be in Florida. It has to be. So I'm guessing it got to be like Miami or Jacksonville. Yeah, be somewhere around Florida.
It could be Miami because they're in Orlando for the pay-per-view, so maybe it would make sense to go down to Miami for Monday Night Raw. Let me take a look. No, WWE.com. I don't care about Total Divas. Yeah, it is in Miami.
There you go, the house of the Miami Heat. The house of the Miami Heat. And sorry, there's no LeBron James. All right, let's just take a moment for a commercial break with sound bites at work, and then we're going to give out who we think will be in the Hall of Fame this year. So we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. We just happen to be the best tag team on planet Earth, and you are listening to Wrestling Heads Radio.
God damn it, most of these shits don't work. What the fuck, man? All right.
Blog Talk sucks. Blog Talk sucks.
God damn it, it does suck. Shit. All right, well, we're getting new sound bites. You guys will love them. I'm not going to give out the names of the wrestlers or wrestlers. It could be a tag team, you never know. But we will have new ones. You guys will love them. So hopefully soon we'll put them on there and you guys just take a listen to them. All right. A little topic we have a thing we're going to talk about. We heard in the last week the news broke out. Sting's going to WWE Hall of Fame. So we're going to have six wrestlers from any era who we think is going to be in the Hall of Fame this year, and we're going to name at least one tag team / stable that could be in there. So I'm going to start off. All right. Outside of Sting, who I think is going to get in the Hall of Fame this year, first of all, I'm going to name my tag team / stable. First, I think the Freebirds are going in for sure because in Texas, you have a lot of history there, especially the time in World Class Championship Wrestling. I think the Freebirds are going in there for sure. They have to be in there. Come on, it's in Texas. You got to put the Freebirds in there. Okay, then my singles wrestlers start going in there. I'm picking Owen Hart. I think Owen Hart's getting in this year. I think WWE and Mark the Hart worked out. It took years to get him out there. Now that you got the DVD out, showing signs that Owen Hart's getting in there. So, I think Owen Hart's getting in. I think JBL's going to get in. I would prefer him to wait, but, they're in Texas. Why not? I guess you can have a JBL in there. He had a good WWE title run, I have to say. He had a title for 8 months. He had some pairings with the Acolytes back in the day, they had some good moments in the WWE. So I think putting JBL in there in Texas will make sense, I guess. Trying to think of other names. Another name that might put it in there, this is a female on this one. I don't think she deserves it yet, or not even close, but they might just do it because it's in her hometown. But Jacqueline, I think they could put her in there. I mean, on her resume, you can see she won the women's title before. She had won the Cruiserweight champion. If you guys remember, she had a little feud with Chavo for it. And then, not a big resume. I mean, she made her debut in WCW. That's pretty much it that you can think of Jacqueline, but she had a long career pretty much, and they might put her in there. I think that's 3 so far. I'm trying to think of other names. Vader. He's teasing in on Twitter as of late. I think Vader's getting in. Why not? If you're going to put Sting in there, why not have Vader in there? And then, he was one of Sting's nemesis. I remember when he put in Hogan, he had at least, most of his class were his nemesis, like the Iron Sheik, Roddy Piper, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. So, why not have one of Sting's nemesis in WCW, Vader? He could be in there. So, why not? Big fan Vader should be in there. Let me see, there's 2 more. Stop it. All right, I'm trying to think of another WWE name, a legendary name that I don't know the names, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll name 2 guys. Another tag team to fill out my. You know what? I might add a celebrity in there. How about for celebrity wing? I'm gonna pick Lemmy from Motorhead. Fuck it, because he just passed away. I know Triple H has a good relationship with Lemmy. For the celebrity wing, they're gonna put in Lemmy in there because he did Triple H's music, did Evolution, the other song Triple H was one of the Kings of Kings. Just recently,
which debuted at the WrestleMania I went to, by the way.
I was actually at the performance as well when he WrestleMania 21 that performance for Triple H. I was actually there and the performance theme music. So I was there as well. So fuck it, they're gonna put Lemmy in there. Celebrity.
Well, no, I was talking about 22, but because that's where King of Kings debuted. Okay, I gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, but the year before, I was at that WrestleMania when they performed that song. Time to play the game. A buddy of mine was too. All right, and for my last one, I'm gonna pick the Connor Award. I'm gonna pick myself in there. I think I'm gonna go in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I will accept the Connor Warrior Award, I guess. So
wait, are they doing that again this year?
I have no idea. The Warrior Award, I guess that is. I guess I'll put myself in there, and I'm gonna be in the WWE Hall of Fame. And don't worry, I'll make a speech, and I'll say I'll thank Nathan, thank Tom, thank Skits, and all you guys. I will put that in my speech. So I will put myself in there in the Hall of Fame. All right then. No, okay. Well, I'm gonna pick my last pick, my serious pick. Damn it, why Skits had to pick 6? This is all Skits' idea to pick 6. It's hard for me to pick 6, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick a fucking. I'm gonna pick a manager. Maybe just put a manager in there. Sting never had a manager. I try to think Sting. No, I don't know. I can't really think of managers right now. I already did a female, deceased person. If I really think of another name, I'm trying to think of another international name, Japanese name. I can't really think of anyone right now. Unless you want to put in the Great Muta in there. I try to think of just a retiring name. You know what? Fuck it. Christian will get in this year if I had to pick. He just retired. He's won the World Heavyweight title before. And, yeah, so I think Christian could get in there this year. So I'm picking Christian. So I'm going to go with your Tom. Who's your 6 and who's your tag team / stable could get in the Hall of Fame this year?
My tag team I'll start off with, obviously, the Freebirds. They're going to be in Texas. Freebirds were huge in Texas. I mean, not as, I'd say as big as like the Von Erichs or something, but they were definitely very popular back in the 80s. So they definitely deserve an induction for what they did for Southern wrestling. So that's my tag team / stable, because they're not really just a tag team, but they're stable because everybody knows the Freebird rule. But as far as my other inductions go, I'm going to go with Vader. I think that may be a given one, which is why I think he's going to be in the Rumble. I'm going to go with this is tough. I can't say Owen Hart just yet. But I will say the British Bulldog. I think he gets in this year. I think he gets inducted by Davey Boy Smith Jr., who's now allowed to use the British Bulldog name too. So I think he gets in. I think that Jushin Thunder Liger gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. We saw him appear at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn last year, and I think Liger is the next international induction. Of course, we've seen Mil Mascaras, Antonio Inoki, we've seen Fujinami get inducted last year. I think Jushin Liger gets inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. I'm going to also, if I'm going to go with a woman, I'm going to also, I'm going to pick 2 international talents. I'm probably going to be wrong, but you know what? Just because we're in January and we're a couple months away, I think I can be wrong. We saw Alundra Blaze get inducted last year, and I think this year, Bo Nakano gets inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So I think we see 2 international talents get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. My last one, I'm going to say tough. This is tough because I feel like there's names that I'm forgetting that are kind of like obvious choices on why they should get in. Oh, boy. You know what? I'm going to say Lemmy, too. I think Lemmy gets in for the celebrity wing. I won't count that, though, if I could pick one more wrestler. You know what? I'm going to say the model, Rick Martel, gets inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. I think he deserves it. I think it's long overdue, and I think that's a name that you can definitely put on the marquee that people want to see get inducted. So there's the list of people that I think are going to be in the Hall of Fame this year. Probably not going to be right on most of them, but we'll see.
You know that Bull Nakano's a golfer now?
She's a golfer?
Yeah, that's like if you go on Wikipedia, that's what it lists her as doing now, and that seems really, really weird.
Does she like?
Because I'm
like the other golfers after like she's losing?
I really hope so, and I hope she's got the gimmick and the face paint and everything and the hair, and that would be amazing.
Interesting stuff.
All right, Nathan, you want to give out your thoughts of in the Hall of Fame this year? Like, who you really think you're going to get it this year?
I just thought of a few. Vader was mentioned. I think he's a good option. Lemmy would be an obvious choice because he recently died and he was close with Triple H, and I have a feeling that he could be a viable celebrity wing inductee this year.
Much better than Drew.
And that would, yeah, way better. And he's I have an issue with a lot of the celebrity wing inductees, but he is one that I would actually not mind getting inducted. So there's that one. Demolition is a team I would like to see get inducted. Legion of Doom got inducted a few years ago after Hawk's death, and Demolition are kind of a knockoff of the Legion of Doom, but they were still a great tag team in their own right, and I would like to see both those guys get inducted.
Yeah, I would love to see them get in there.
Owen is an obvious choice. If that can be done, I mean, we have the DVD now, and I've had the DVD since Christmas. I still haven't gotten around to watching it. But he would be a good choice. Question for you: are the Von Erichs already in the Hall of Fame?
The whole Von
Erich
is in the Hall of Fame.
I was thinking they were, but I couldn't remember. And if they weren't,
that's what I was thinking too when I was mentioning the Freezer in Texas, because obviously when you think of Texas wrestling, the Von Erichs are like the first name that comes to mind because I mean they were gods there. So, but I think
exactly.
Erichs are in.
Eric Bischoff is a guy I could see getting inducted because he changed the way we kind of perceive wrestling, and he did a lot of things that were very taboo around the time that he was running WCW as the president, and he changed, he basically forced WWE to step up their game and be a player within the Monday Night War. So I think that without him, the WWE we would have had the Attitude Era, but it would have been a lot more scaled down than it was. And so I think he is a good candidate to be inducted. And if it's not...
That's a good one. I didn't think of Bischoff. And he's been doing a lot of stuff with WWE lately, too.
Well, and it's like they were going to go... Apparently, WrestleMania 33 was rumored to be in Minnesota. And Eric Bischoff would have been a good candidate to be inducted in Minnesota. But from what I'm hearing, Philadelphia is now being discussed as the WrestleMania 33 location. So it looks like I'm going to have to go to Philadelphia to go to WrestleMania 33 because that's what I had planned on doing. But I think either way, wherever the location of WrestleMania 33 is, I think Eric Bischoff would be a great induction. Because, like I said, he deserves his place in WWE Hall of Fame. However scummy he was and his business practices weren't all that great, but like I said, he changed the way a lot of people perceive pro wrestling. It deserves to be recognized. And then as far as a foreign star that they could induct, Liger was mentioned. I think he's a good candidate, but I would go with Tenryu. because he recently had his retirement match against Okada, and I think he's a guy that WWE might want to get their hands on to see if they can induct. And I think that would be a great choice.
The only problem with Tenryu is, he's a legend in Japanese wrestling. I mean, you look at All Japan in the 90s, and he was a point of that. But, Fujinami got inducted because he had a lot of matches against a lot of North American opponents, like Ric Flair, and a lot of the WCW, and I think some WWF talent as well. So the only problem is how much of a North American exposure did Tenryu have? I don't think he had a lot. It's kind of like Misawa. Misawa is a Japanese legend, but he just really didn't have a lot of interaction, going to North American promotions like Fujinami did, like Liger did. So that's the only problem.
Fair enough. That's a good.
That would be. That'd be a great.
That's a legit concern.
Tenryu's a legend, but it's just, how does WWE see him in the fans' eyes as far as working not just with Japanese talent but American and other talent as well.
Sure. And then, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish up.
No, I was just going to say, and then as far as a female inductee, I'd throw Sable in there too.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking I'd get that reaction, but because I think she's garbage, but she did contribute something to the business. Yeah. What that is, I'm not sure, and I know a lot of people fucking hate her. Jim Cornette for one, but
that's great. I love.
But yeah, she contributed something to the business, and I could see them, because they usually like to induct a female into the Hall of Fame, and she's about one of the only people that they have left to do, that they haven't done yet. And, I mean, they have connections with her because her husband is in the company, so why the fuck not?
Yeah, and I mean, as much as I dislike Sable, listen, I was a little kid, and I knew nothing about, talent and in-ring work, and even I knew Sable was shit. Even back as a little kid, I'm watching her, and she's botching all over the place, and I'm wait, why do the other wrestlers not mess up, but she does? But you also can't deny that she really, for I think quite a while, she was insanely popular, and with her posing for Playboy, she did bring in a lot of that. I don't want to say media, but she brought a lot of outside attention to WWF at that time, in which, they were getting edgier and they were presenting more of an edgier product, and her doing that definitely kind of solidified it even more. So I can see that. As much as I dislike her, I could see that. Let me ask you guys this, because I was thinking about Sting, and I was thinking about big names that have kind of been in the WWE, WCW. What do you guys think about maybe Lex Luger getting into the WWE Hall of Fame?
He was going to pick him. Yeah, that's a very possibility. I was going to pick him, but I don't know if they want to put, for some reason, they don't want to put him in there. I thought should have been a long time ago. I don't know if it's due to the fact that his history. There's some people blaming that they're blaming him because of Miss Elizabeth's death. I don't know if that's the reason why. I'm sure right now he's in good terms with WWE. I know he's done some interviews with them involving the network and all that, but I don't know why they haven't put him in yet. I mean, he hasn't wrestled for years, and it would be nice to see him and Sting get in the Hall of Fame in the same class together. They're good friends. I actually picked him to duck them, but I remember last week you said that, you don't think he should be inducted because due to his health. Yeah, that's a good possibility. I mean, I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, I had to bet money he would not be in it because I just don't know why WWE's lagging on bringing Lex Luger in.
One person I forgot to mention that was on my list was Sid. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, but he was good for what he was. I mean, he couldn't cut a promo. He barely could wrestle, but I mean,
he was over though. He was. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people really forget how over Sid was, even before. Like, I mean, he was a reason. What Rumble was it? Was it the '91 Rumble when Hogan was like leaving or something, and Sid was getting a big reaction when he eliminated Hogan from the Rumble?
92. Because it led up to WrestleMania 8 in their main event match at WrestleMania 8.
Yeah, so, and people were booing Hogan and cheering for Sid, and then you go back when he returned to the WWE in 95, 96, and he was over. You look back at that Survivor Series matchup, Sid versus Shawn Michaels, and, you know, Shawn Michaels was the prototypical babyface in WWE. He was protected by Vince, and most crowds loved HBK. But that Madison Square Garden crowd went crazy when Sid won the title from Shawn Michaels. Like, he was just, for some, like, nobody could understood it. Like, you know, I look back and I listen to interviews and I listen to, like, you know, like Dave Meltzer and Wade Keller and all these different guys, and everyone's just baffled on how Sid was so over. Because there was, I mean, he was just a big guy that powerbombed people, and, you know, he would fist bump people in the crowd and say, "Who's the man?" And he was just so over.
He had amazing theme
that
song,
could be
so.
a very, that could be a very possibility. I'm not sure if this is any truth to that, but I was hearing Sting and Sid do not get along. So why would you put those two guys in? They don't get along. But who knows? Maybe things change. I know back in WWE no one liked Sid, so that's why he pretty much returned to WWE during the second round there. But I remember when he left WWE and went back to WCW during the New Blood era. I remember I was hearing reports back then that backstage in WCW no one wasn't happy as Sid came back. So I never thought of Sid because I was thinking more Texas people. Sid is not a Texas guy; he's an Arkansas guy. So yeah, well, I mean, if I could put Sid in there, they're gonna put in there. I mean, he had a good resume. He was a former WWE champ, WCW champion. He had a little short run in ECW. He had memorable feuds with The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan. I mean, this goes on and on. He had great feuds. Plus, he did
main event for WrestleMania.
Yes, with The Undertaker.
Which is weird to think about in a terrible match, but he did.
Yeah. It was a terrible match, but I think that WrestleMania was probably the worst WrestleMania ever, 13. So. But,
you think 13 was the worst WrestleMania ever?
Possibly. The only thing I could enjoy and remember is the Austin and Bret Hart thing. That's the only good thing about it.
Okay, that's my favorite match of all time, but as far as, like, worst WrestleMania ever, 11 still exists. So, I honestly, I think 13 wasn't that good, but honestly, like, if you're ranking bad WrestleManias, I'd go 11, then I'd go 9, then I'd put 13, and then 25. Those are, like, my top 4 worst WrestleManias. And then if you want to do a top 5, like, 27. Because that one sucked.
Yeah, you know what? I take that back. 11 was bad. Shawn Michaels and Diesel, all that shit was bad.
And the production was terrible on that night.
Yeah, you know what's funny about LT? Last week, Ric Flair did tweet it that he's going to bring Lawrence Taylor to Raw, which he didn't do it. And I was thinking, don't tell me they're going to have Lawrence Taylor come in at the celebrity induction in the Hall of Fame. I thought maybe it would be cool if they had it in 29 when it was in New York, but I think at the time he got arrested for having sex with underage women. So I thought it was a bad time to put Lawrence Taylor in there. I think he will get into the celebrity wing somehow, but I don't think now is the time to bring in Lawrence Taylor. Even at this time, it's been 3 years later since the whole underage sex thing happened. I still don't think it's a good time to put in Lawrence Taylor in there. I'm gonna ask Tom. I don't know. He's a Giants fan. He likes the Giants.
They have a rapist in the Hall of Fame, though.
I know that, but that was from a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
True.
Lawrence Taylor, it's current. You know, can that wait later? Or I don't know how Tom will feel, because I'm pretty sure he knows the story about the whole Lawrence Taylor thing. I don't know, Tom. Do you would like to see Lawrence Taylor in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, one WrestleMania match. I mean, like I said, I can't even say just because of one WrestleMania match he shouldn't be in, because look at Drew Carey. Drew Carey's in there, and some of the celebrities they have in there is ridiculous. I mean, I really wouldn't want to see him just because, like I said, just because of that one WrestleMania match. It's like whatever. But I don't know. I feel like there's better celebrities that they could put in. Like I said, put Lemmy in this year, and then that's your only celebrity this year, because, I mean, Lemmy deserves it probably more than most of the celebrities that are in there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, let's just, we're going to end the show right now. Before we end the show, we're going to give out a plug. Yeah, just follow us at Wrestling Heads on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. Just check out our Instagram. I just added a photo. I took a photo with Hijo de Fantasma. If you're not familiar, he's from AAA. I took a photo with him last night while I was at the Lucha Underground tapings. So, yeah. And speaking of Lucha Underground, that next week is the season premiere. You guys need to check that out. I'm sure Tom and Nathan will check it out. We all know it's already been linked. Rey Mysterio is going to make this debut, so it's been out there already. Lucha Underground is actually...
Spoiler alert? No, I think I knew that already.
It's not a spoiler alert. It's not a damn spoiler alert.
No, I know. I'm kidding. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's the worst kept secret in the world right now, because everybody knows it's going to happen.
Yeah, and also she also just put it out there that she's going to be appearing, but Daya, the AAA Women's Champion, or Reina Serena's champion, she's going to be making her debut. She posted on Twitter that she's going to be on Lucha Underground.
Thank God, I can't wait.
That's no longer a spoiler. Huh?
I can't wait for that, because she's fucking awesome.
I'll tell you this, Nathan. She looks better in person than on your computer screen. Yeah, she does. And I have a photo. You guys can check it out on Instagram. I have a photo of her right there, and I know Nathan's jealous. So, yeah, you can check that out as well. Anyways,
I can't deny that, man.
All right. You can also follow me at Sinister632, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. Follow the Elite Podcast Network on Twitter. And also you can check out other shows like Eyes of the Ring, Let's Talk by the Cooler, Uncle Mike and Tom show. Check all that stuff out. Also check out WrestlingHeads.com. Check out skits, posting stuff on Wrestling Heads. Also our bloggers. Check that out as well. Also, if you want to support us, go on Wrestling Heads. ProWrestlingTees.com/Wrestling Heads. If you want to buy a shirt, you can have a shirt. There's some wrestlers that have our shirts, like Chuck Taylor has our shirt, Andrew Everett has our shirt. There's a lot of names up there. Pentagon Jr. even has our shirt. And Phoenix. They have our shirt. They're probably wearing it right now in Mexico. Who knows? You can check that out there. Also, I want to give another plug. Our buddy, go check out the Wrestling Guy store. He has some couple signings coming up. He has Chris Masters coming. He has Jenny Mundo. He just announced yesterday Sexy Star is going to have a signing on his store. You want to check that out. It's everywhere. Also, he's also bringing on the 13th of February, I think is the date, but double check out Wrestling Guy HP. Christy Hemme and Gail Kim are coming to the store as well. So you want to follow Wrestling Guy Store HP to check out all those information. But yeah, just check out that store. His store is in Huntington Park, California. So he's having some crazy ass signings you don't want to miss out. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna give out all my plugs right there. And yeah, I just can't wait for PWG. So yeah, I can't wait for that. And also, Nathan, you're more welcome to come down because Tom's already spreading rumors that he's coming down. So Nathan, we're waiting for you too. Or maybe both should come down.
When?
But I guess anytime. Wait a minute. I think we got
Right,
I think it's Matthew Grant here. Hold on, go ahead, Matthews 89.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, way to join the party a little bit late there.
Yeah, am I too loud for you right now?
No,
you sound like you're sick.
No? Oh, okay, so I just have a pretty cool story I'd like to tell you guys. It's about when I met Big Show. Yeah, I met Big Show and The Undertaker. They were filming a scene in my town. I live in Connecticut.
All right.
That's cool.
And,
what happened? How were they when you met them?
So I met Big Show in the bathroom, and he bent me over and he just shoved his Big Show up my ass, and it.
Go fuck yourself. All right, Don,
I had a funny feeling that's what it was.
I thought for some reason I thought it was Matthew Grant at first. It was Matthew whatever. I thought it was Matthew Grant because it was from the Skype thing. I thought that was Matthew Grant, so fuck him. But go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like Matthew Grant.
Yeah, that's what I was like, wait, that's not Matthew Grant.
Unless he's got a cold or some...
Yeah, that's what I thought at first.
What a fucking asshole.
I thought that was Matthew Grant.
But anyway, if you want to follow the real Matthew Grant, the real legitimate true brother of Elite Podcast Network, you can follow him at Weekly W Podcast and at Matthew Grant. Replace the A in Matthew with 4, and there you go. I know he had a busy weekend as the Weekly Wrestling Podcast with Smash versus CZW. I know he got a ton of interviews. Matthew Grant interviewed Sami Callihan, DJ Hyde, Cherry Bomb, bunch of interviews over at Weekly Wrestling Podcast's YouTube page. So it's youtube.com, Weekly Wrestling Podcast. Check it out. Support another member of the Elite Podcast Network family. You can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. That's my personal account. Like I've been saying, I need to catch up on so much independent and international wrestling, PWG, AAW, Smash Wrestling, Beyond Wrestling, Alpha One Wrestling, so much to catch up on. So my bank account is not going to like me very soon, but I'm going to have results and thoughts of all these different shows. So be on the lookout for that, guys. This week, of course, here on the Elite Podcast Network, Tuesday, the Indie Power Rankings goes live at 9 o'clock Eastern, and then they do the Tag Team Top 5 reveal on Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. So keep an eye out for that. Of course, Wrestling Heads returns on Thursday, as does Let's Talk by the Cooler and the Uncle Mike and Tom show. And then this Sunday, right after the Royal Rumble, whatever happens, if we see Roman Reigns get booed out of Orlando and whatever happens, Nathan here and everyone at Eyes on the Ring, they'll be talking Royal Rumble, in which you can call up and talk about whether you loved the show or hated it. But Nathan, tell us all about Eyes on the Ring and what you guys got going on.
Well, yes, people can call in unless they're that fucking asshole that just called in about 2 minutes ago. But you're welcome to call in. We will be talking about the Royal Rumble and whatever True God hated about it, because that's usually what happens. We will be live. Usually we're live at 10 p.m. Because it's a pay-per-view week, we will be alive, or actually, sorry about that, we're usually live at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be alive at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time because there's a pay-per-view this Sunday on the network. So listen to us, and as we talk about the Royal Rumble, of course, you could go to eyesonthering.com and check out all the articles that we have this week, or last week we were doing WCW week. This week we are doing Royal Rumble week, so I don't know exactly what that means, but because I haven't been told anything about it. But also I do the ROH reviews, so go ahead and read those. And of course you can follow me on Twitter at Headliner5. Of course, follow Eyes on the Ring at Eyes on the Ring. And if you're on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Headliner05, because some dickhead took my name that I wanted, so I had to change it a little bit. So I'm more entertaining on Twitter probably than Instagram, but yeah, so follow me on Instagram anyway, and that's really all I got. And follow the Elite Podcast Network at Elite Podcast Net. Get us to at least 500 followers, because I don't even think we're at like 400 right now. So just support what we're doing, and if you like the shows, listen to them and like it, retweet it, and share it, and just get the word around so that more people can be listening to these shows.
All right. I guess we'll do another show sometime this week. I hope we don't change it around like Skits like to do. And I guess just follow us on Twitter. We'll give the date of our next show. And I guess until then, we are out. And peace.
Have you heard? Great things are happening at your neighborhood Albertsons. All over the store, you'll find choices that are juicier, yummier, tastier, like produce that's fresher, crispier, sweeter, with better-than-ever selection, more amazing choices, and savings down every aisle. Your trip to Albertsons is sure to be a whole lot nicer, quicker, happier. Your store is just better. Come in today. Check it out for yourself.
For big savings on healthy favorites, your neighborhood Albertsons has you covered. This week, get boneless, skinless chicken breast or thighs for only $1.77 a pound when you buy 3 pounds or more. Swing by the produce department for something sweet and healthy. Jumbo cantaloupes are 2 for just $3 each. And selected varieties of Oro wheat bread, 24 ounces, or Nature's Harvest bread, 20 ounces, are 2 for $5. Fresher meats, fresher produce, healthier savings. Albertsons, it's just better.